Okay, welcome back to Phone Lookout, and thank you for the subscribers and those who look out for our videos. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button. So today I bring to you a simple problem or a weird problem that may not be common lately. This is a feature phone, and this feature phone has a problem with a cracked screen. For which reason we will have to change it. Now if you notice, it's cracked and the liquid crystal is collected in the center and the other portion remains white. So I thought I would just bring you one video that shows you how you would change the screen for this one. It's not a plug-in socket. Now this right here is going to act as our donor phone. So without further ado, let's dive right inside. So the first thing, we'll have to open the phone, but I have already removed the screws, so it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws. Get those out of place, and okay, so here we was opening the phone. So battery is out, get it out of place, and then reach in between the yellow and black frame and pry it using a blade. I use a surgical blade usually, but I couldn't locate it today, so I used a blade from a paper cutter. That open. So I think at this point, let me just mention a few things. Now if you notice, most of these feature phones, more so the China phones, they tend to share screens across brands. And so if you fail to get a screen for your exact brand, you can borrow it from another phone. Now if you look at this phone right here, this is the fiber that goes into the screen, and if you look carefully, you will see that it has contact points, and on the board it's labeled from 1 up to 24, but if you notice, our ribbon, it stops at around 20, or you could count it, they are 20. Now if you get any other screen of the same dimension and has 20 pins, it should be able to work with. That's how our candidate right here qualifies to be a donor. I already opened it, so it's also a no-brainer. You just remove this cover and get those screws out of place and open up the phone. Now if you look at this screen, it's right there. This phone too has 1 up to 24, so you replace those. Now let's get started. So I'll have to hook in my soldering gun into the power supply, wait for it to heat up a bit, and then resume. Okay, let's resume. Now you will need some of soldering paste. Pick soldering paste. So let's first get the donor out of place and invite our recipient. So apply flux at the solder points. Those are the points that the screen uses to solder onto the phone. I noticed this phone had either the screen replaced or it had a problem with backlighting, and so someone tapped power from the lower board using this looping wire right there. But at the moment, that's the least of our worries. So I believe our soldering iron has heated up sufficiently, and this is it. Now get some soldering wire and put a veneer of it onto the tip of the soldering iron, like that. And then with that, hold the screen that you want to remove, tilt it. So I'm applying some sort of lifting tension as I bring my soldering iron at the solder point, and then using it, drag it backwards as I pull this outwardly. Now with that out of place, okay, I think this looping wire we might need it in the future just in case, so I'll pick it off from there. And so this is our old screen, which seems to be falling apart. And now the next step is to clean the terminals, pick off the excess solder by swabbing the soldering iron tip over the solder points like that. Okay, with that cleaned, now we will have to also remove our donor screen from the donor phone. So like we did earlier on with the recipient, get flux, apply to the solder points of the screen, just at the extremities of the fiber that goes into the LCD. Okay, then again apply some solder at the tip of the soldering iron. This helps in proper transfer of heat between the soldering iron and the solder points. Now reach out. This seems to be coming out neatly, and of course it is to our advantage that it comes out neatly. Unfortunately, I didn't first show you that this screen was functional. Actually, the donor phone lights up. Its challenge is that it has a weird charging system that is not available. That's why I've chosen to use it to donate our screen. Why I'm using a donor phone is at this period of the corona lockdown, we are unable to access phone parts, so we have to use what is available, perhaps recycle some of them. Now we are on the stage where we place the screen into the frame. So first thing is to align this terminal number 1 with the terminal on the motherboard. So bring it right there and get it almost half where the width. Okay, so align it to that point. At this point, I normally like to first do the first swab onto the first terminal to provide some anchorage, and onto the 20th one right there. Okay, that's down. And then reach out for some more soldering paste, which is commonly referred to by many others as simply flux. Okay, now I'm just going to use this to press this ribbon down as I move my soldering iron across the terminal. It wants to lift. Okay, I think I'll have to find other means of doing that. Okay, so I'm going to use this to press it down. So why I'm doing this is because every time I melt the solder, that fiber sort of has an upward tension, backwards upwards, lifting the fiber off the solder points as the solder is still wet. So I will press it down such that it is in position until the solder dries. Okay, we're about there. Out of curiosity, I wonder whether I removed the battery. Okay, now this is a very short process, but I'm trying to just be thorough, but you get the idea. So that's it, and that's done. So next thing is to test it, see if it lights up on its own. Okay, lucky for me, I had removed the battery, so I think it's almost now second nature that I find myself just detaching the battery from the phone before I do anything else. But then again, now I've hidden the battery, I need to test the screen I've transplanted. Let me pause, find the battery. Okay, now found our battery. Place it in right there and power on the phone.